Hey guys, and welcome. In today's video, I wanted to go into detail, do something a bit different actually, and go into detail around all of the backstories of each specialist that's in Battlefield 2042. Now, of course, with Battlefield 2042 specialists, we have quite a few of them that you can use, and all of them do have some really interesting backstories. They're not long enough to be able to do a video per specialist, so I thought I'd compile them all into one video, and if you wanted to hear more about the specialists in the future, if we do get anything more around the story or anything along those lines, then do let me know, and I'll be really happy to do another video about it, because yeah, I like doing this sort of stuff. But anyway, there'll be timestamps in the description, guys, so if you want to skip to a specific specialist, you're more than welcome to go ahead and do so. But yeah, we're just going to go in order. So, starting off with Irish, better known as Kimball Irish Graves. A natural born leader, Kimball Irish Graves is the commander of the specialists aboard the Exodus. Growing up in Brooklyn, New York, his natural leadership qualities and combat skills help keep the non-patrioted safe from harm. Having seen the cost of war firsthand as a former Marine, this skilled engineer is dedicated to protecting both his squad as well as those who cannot fight for themselves. Irish excels at fortifying positions on the battlefield and creating small outposts with which others can use as rally points to make an attack. Irish is commanding the NOPAT fleet from the helm of the Exodus with his son, Omar. Around 10 years prior to the events of Battlefield 2042, Irish was actually a part of a squad called Tombstone Actual, who were trying to fight against China, who were trying to again rule the world. At that time, there were three factions. They had the US, China, and also Russia. Tombstone Actual helped take down China and their leader, of course, helped prevent that war. After this, Irish left the US government and went to form the NOPATs. Again, as it mentioned, he wanted to try and help as many people as possible that were not treated well by the government. Irish lost faith in all of the US government and then decided to leave the US army and go ahead and form his own faction in the NOPATs, which is where we are currently. Irish was working closely with Oz to try and identify and capture some data drives, which would give them locations as to where a satellite would crash with crucial data to potentially take over the world and start World War III. Irish didn't agree with this and was fully against Oz's decision, which put a sour taste in Oz's mouth, and he ordered his fleet to try and kill Irish and everyone aboard the Exodus. It's now Irish's job to try and track down these satellites himself and prevent Oz from taking them. The next specialist we're going to go into today is Webster McKay. Now, Webster McKay, of course, is an outdoorsman, nomad soldier. McKay is an ass kicker with a conscience. Following in his father's footsteps, McKay joined the Canadian military in his teens. At the height of his military career, he was a member of the Joint Task Force 2 as part of a counter-terrorism unit. After retiring from the military, he followed his dreams of exploring and living off the grid. Now, this assault soldier fights for the non-patrioted to make right a regret from his military days. McKay swings into action during a flash flood in Rio. His days as a survivalist rappelling off cliffs seem to have paid off. And of course, this is why Webster does have the grappling hook. Again, a bit of a backstory there. He used to always rappel off cliffs when, obviously, during the Marines, and of course, he enjoyed doing it in his spare time, abseiling up and down cliffs. And again, it does show why he has the grapple hook and why, of course, he enjoys it so much. The next specialist we're going to look into is Maria Falk. A veteran support, Mia Falk has a strong will that cannot be shaken by danger, fear, or rank. A skilled medic, she serves in the German army for 6 years, touring North Africa and the Middle East, in an effort to bring back a positive impact upon the world. Now, she searches for a missing son, David, after hearing that he may have been involved with a NOPAT group. Combat medic Maria Falk delivers a child at a makeshift NOPAT clinic in Berlin. So of course, really interesting there. The real reason why Maria has joined the NOPATs is in an attempt to try and find her son ultimately. She didn't join it just because she wanted to, but again, she wanted to try and find her son and give a bit more positivity back to the world and help in any way that she can. Again, maybe one day in the storyline we'll be able to stumble across her son and she'll be able to be reunited with him, but as of now, the search still continues. The next specialist we're looking into, Vitor Boris Guvskovsky. Self-motivated and self-fulfilling, Boris seeks to acquire power and control in a chaotic world. Whilst his leadership skills may be a bit aggressive to some, there is no denying his skills in the field. The Russian-born engineer is a very experienced weapon expert on the task force, particularly when it comes to defensive tactics, although his true attachment to the team is suspect. Nevertheless, Boris is trusted to get the job done, albeit with maximum collateral damage. Boris leads NOPATs fleeing a ballistic firestorm across the border in dramatic fashion. So Boris is kind of one of those crazy people that just does not care, wants to get the job done no matter what, and the collateral damage is what it is at the end of the day. But yeah, now moving on to Wickes Van Dale, better known as Casper, my personal favorite specialist. Recon soldier Wickes is a loner and the unflappable calm presence on the task force. A Former intelligence gathering operative in South Africa, Wickes is a master of camouflage and long-range engagement. After stumbling on a conspiracy involving a senior officer that put the lives of those in his unit and local civilians in danger, Wickes was falsely accused of murder and fled the country. He aligned himself with the No-Pats in a hope to being able to return home one day if there is still a home to return to. Casper is neither seen nor heard by the warlords about to meet their end. Now, the next person to look into is Navin Rayo. Now, we have a lot around Navin Rayo in the Journey of the No-Pat story, but again, yeah, he seems like a really cool character and a cool guy. Anyway, going into his backstory here, the most technical-minded of the No-Pat task force, Rayo studied electronics and engineering in his youth while suffering from a debilitating illness. Once removed, he was determined to utilize his skills to support his country by joining the Indian Armed Forces and later the Navy Marine Commando Unit, Marcos. While assigned to secure non-patriotic refugees, he was a part of a disastrous mission, resulting in heavy casualties. After his discharge, he reached out to the No-Pat contacts and decided to put his talents as a recon soldier to use in their cause. Joining the task force gave him a way to protect those who needed it the most and perhaps make amends for his part in the failed mission. Rayo improves the fortunes of others since his dishonorable discharge from the Indian Special Forces. Also adding to this story as well, in Journey of the No-Pats, it does mention that Rayo is a real big people's person. He'll do what he can for the people, and he enjoys like being around children as well, making them smile, making them happy, again also with people. So again, as you can see in this picture here, he's helping these kids, he's hacking into an ATM, giving them as much money as possible in this ATM. And yeah, he just seems like an all-round nice guy from that story, and of course from that, and has learned from his mistakes from that failed mission. Next specialist is Santiago Espinoza, better known as Dozer. Born in Mexico, Dozer came to the US as an undocumented immigrant and chose to join the US Army as his pathway to citizenship. Sadly, waves of mass refugee immigration led to the military reversing their position, and Santiago's deportation from the country he'd risked his life to defend. Dozer didn't let this setback blunt his ambitions. He started a family and a successful business as a gunsmith before losing his home in Jalisco to brutal storm. Forced to leave once more, he and his family headed to Puerto Rico, where he used his experience and strengths as an assault specialist to aid non-patrioted causes. Former gunsmith, Dozer still gets creative during his downtime. The next one is Emma Rosier, or best known as Sundance. Sundance definitely likes to live on the edge. They're a skilled and feared adversary that had two very different lives. One as a model soldier in the Arme de Terre, and an earlier and much darker existence as a trusted associate in a major Parisan crime syndicate. The latter, sadly, came back to haunt them and ended their military career pre-mutually. This assault specialist is doing their best to keep a low profile among the non-patrioted, while still using their unique talents to aid the cause whenever they can. As Sundance knows, no one can truly escape a life in organized crime. The next specialist is Konstantin Angel, better known as Angel. Growing up the son of a mechanic, Konstantin has always had a love for taking things apart, building and rebuilding them. This skill has made him an incredible asset to the Romanian Navy, where he served until the loss of his ship left him stranded and desperate. Cobbling together a distress beacon, he caught the attention of a No-Pat vessel and was rescued. This support specialist offers more than just incredible technical skills and positive attitude. He becomes something of a guardian angel to his No-Pat comrades and a very valuable and well-liked ally. Mechanic Konstantin Angel makes a new friend in former Italy. So Konstantin was actually the creator of the Ranger. I didn't actually know that, so yeah, that's really interesting. And finally, Jisoo Paik. Athletic and fiercely competitive, Paik followed in her grandfather's footsteps and joined the military, where she was quickly recruited by Republic of Korea's Special Operations Forces unit, specializing in covert infiltration. Separated from a unit after a vicious attack by an unidentified militia group in New Guinea, she found refuge on a No-Pat ship. She since joined the task force as a deep cover recon agent, probing the secrets of Daesung's corporate headquarters. A woman of many talents, Paik reflects on the glory days in an abandoned ice ring. Again, guys, that is all the specialist backstories for all the specialists that are currently in Battlefield 2042. Again, just something a little bit different. I thought it'd be interesting to put this out there as well. I know a lot of people like to follow the storyline, a reason to have more of a liking towards a character, and yeah, they're all the backstories for it. So guys, hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more storyline videos, which I definitely will be doing in the future around the storyline of Battlefield in general, but also if any new specialists come, I'd love to cover those as well. But do let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more, and yeah, let me know what you think. Make sure you like the video, guys, if you have enjoyed, and subscribe if you are brand new as well. And yeah, have a good day, guys. We'll see you in the next one.